All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in last week to Big B's Picks. I love doing this, man. This is a lot of fun. Whole lot of fun. So I appreciate that support and having some fun with it. Didn't do great last week with the NFL picks. We ended up being 6-6, but we'll see where we go from here. So first up, we got the Panthers against the Falcons. Panthers are, Sam Darnold is a turnover machine. Just literally a turnover machine. Nothing has changed. He played the first 3 weeks and played well. He's back to the old Sam Darnold. The Falcons have found something. The Falcons are playing really well right now. Falcons are going to beat the brakes off the Panthers. Next, we got the Titans and the Colts. Colts are playing well. Titans are playing well. Going to be a really good game. Going to be close. Going to be close. But at the end, Derrick Henry. Titans, close. Then we got the Dolphins versus the Bills. The Dolphins are literally a dumpster fire. I mean, they are a dumpster fire. I know I have a good old college buddy that's a Dolphins fan. I'm sorry, but man, they're terrible. They're not even terrible. Terrible is too good a word to describe what the Dolphins are. Everybody's going to end up going at the end of the season. General manager, coach, everybody's going to be gone. Bills are playing outstanding football. Heck, the Dolphins don't even want their quarterback anymore. They're trying to trade for a guy who's not even playing right now. Bills in a blowout. Next game is a blowout too. The Bengals against another pathetic franchise, which is the Jets. Their quarterback is hurt. They're playing a guy you don't even know who he is. The Bengals are playing great football. The surprise team of the NFL, in my opinion, this year. Bengals big on the road. Next, God's team will be taking the field this week after a week off. The Steelers against the Browns. And I know what everybody's going to say. The Browns, they've got a running game going. They've got their quarterback going. Well, you know what? We want their quarterback to play because he's pathetic. Okay? We want Baker Mayfield on the football field. And, because he's going to throw it to us a few times. And I feel like the Steelers have found something. The offensive line is better. Their defense is always going to be rock solid. And as long as Ben can just do his thing a little bit, doesn't have to be great. The Browns are going to be leading this game the entire game until the end of the game. Steelers by field goal. Mark it down. Next up, looks like that we got the Eagles versus the Lions. Now look, the Lions haven't won a game, but they've been playing some decent football here lately. The Eagles, bad. Eagles equal bad. So they're already trying to get a new quarterback. They're already talking about drafting the guy. Even in a bad upcoming NFL draft, the Eagles are looking to get rid of their quarterback. Lions get their first win of the season. Next, we got the Patriots versus the Chargers. Look, Patriots are playing some decent football here lately. So, I think they found a little something. But the Chargers, I believe, are on a mission. They're on a mission this week. So I've got the Chargers in this one. Won't be a blowout, be a good game. Pat's going across the country. But I think it's going to be a Chargers victory. Fairly easy. 10-plus points. Then we got the 49ers and the Bears. The 49ers have packed it in. They've packed it in. Their quarterback they don't want to play is out there, and he's hurt again. The guy that they drafted to be his replacement, he's hurt. The roster is not very good. They've pretty much given up. They're looking towards next year. The Bears aren't doing the same, except they're playing their quarterback, and he's not hurt. So they're playing their young quarterback. He's gone through some lumps, hasn't played well. This is a week where he gets off the snide and plays better than what he has played, shows a little bit more. They trust in him a little bit more, and I think the Bears come away with this one. So next game, we got the Rams versus the Texans. Now, look. The Rams are playing extremely good football. The Texans are exactly what we thought they were. They're the Texans. They've given up. You talk about a franchise, the definition of giving up. They're just getting rid of players left and right. People want out of there. People are throwing parties that they're getting traded by the Texans. I mean, if the Dolphins are a dumpster fire, I don't even know what you call the Texans at this point. I mean, is something worse than a dumpster fire? If there is, please leave it in the comments and let me know because they are pathetic. Next up, you got the Jags and Seattle. The Jags are playing better. Seattle is not. Look, everybody liked Geno Smith. But last week was the Geno Smith. That's why he's not a starting cornerback. Bad football. Just bad football. Jags go on the road, go all the way across the country from Jacksonville to Seattle and get a big win. Next, you got the Saints versus the Bucs. Look, the Saints are what they are with Jameis Winston. I know there's a bunch of Jameis Winston fans out there and people saying, oh, he's playing average at best football. You know it. I know it. I mean, it's check down Jameis. They don't trust him to throw that ball over the middle to save anybody's life. They wouldn't trust him to throw the ball over the middle to save an ant's life. That's what Jameis Winston is doing. Now, he's not turning it over. I'll give him credit. He is not turning the football over, which was his MO. But he's also not doing anything with the football. But they're winning, but they ain't winning this week. Bucks big. Next, we got Washington football team versus the Broncos. Two mediocre teams at best. Broncos, I'm picking the Broncos because I like Teddy B, because he went to Louisville. And Washington football team, although they are playing better, I think on the road, I think the Broncos win. Next, we got the Cowboys Vikings. Look, I don't like the Cowboys. I don't. I live here in Dallas, and I don't like them. But they're a great football team this year. I'm not taking that away from them. They just are. They just are. But they ain't winning this week. And the reason they're not going to win, I'll give you a nugget. Yeah, they're going to end up resting Dak Prescott. And if they don't, they're stupid. I mean, look, in the grand scheme of things, this game doesn't mean much. You want to win every game, but rest the guy. Give him a rest this week. You know, he came off a bye. Give him another week. But for that reason, the Vikings win. If Dak Prescott plays, Dallas wins, but he won't, so Vikings win. Next, Chiefs, Giants. Look, Chiefs, are you going to turn it around? You know, I picked you last week when I probably shouldn't have. You know, I'm partial to my wife. So I picked you last week, and not only did you lose, you got embarrassed. Literally got embarrassed. So you're playing against the Giants, but the one thing the Giants have been able to do here lately is run the football. And the Chiefs can't stop anything. They can't stop the run. They can't stop the pass. They can't stop anything. They can't stop a man from walking down the field. If you're going to turn it around, Chiefs, sooner or later, you got to do that. And this week, we thought it was 2 weeks ago. We were wrong. You fooled us. This week, you've got to do it. I believe in you. I don't want to believe in you, but I believe in you. Chiefs over the Giants. Now, we're flipping over to college football. College, I did better. I did much better. 5-1. 5-1. I'm like, okay, this is something here. So the first thing, we got Michigan versus Michigan State. So, big game for both. Big game for both. Both undefeated. Top 10 matchup. I like Michigan. I know Michigan State is really good. And they are. They're going to be able to run that football. And they're going to be able to hold time of possession. But I think Michigan's defense stymies them. I think they've got just a little bit more on offense, more than what Michigan State will be able. Because Michigan State, I don't know how great their defense is. I just think Michigan on the road, they can't keep losing all these games. I mean, Jim Harbaugh's got to be able to win some of these games. So this one, I think he wins. Tight on the road, Michigan pulls it off. Next, we got Texas against Baylor. It's going to be high-flying competition, just a high-flying game, really high-scoring. Texas offense is incredible. Baylor can put up points. This is going to be a real high-scoring game, but I think Baylor wins in the end because I think they just turn it over. They do what Texas does. I mean, that's just what Texas does, man. I mean, they score a bunch of points, but when the games get tight against decent competition, they just can't figure it out, and they turn it over in the end and lose. It's just the way it's going to be. Next, Penn State, Ohio State. Look, my man coaches basketball at Penn State. My man, Micah Shrewsbury. I got another man that is a diehard Penn State fan. I like Penn State. I always have liked Penn State. But the coach has not just one foot out the door. He's got both feet out the door. He doesn't, I mean, he keeps saying, well, I'm focused on this week. Yeah, sure you are. You're focused on that check that LSU or USC is going to write you. That's what you're focused on. And that's fine because he's out. He's going to leave. Penn State, not as good as what we thought. You can't beat Illinois at home. You go to 9 overtimes and you still can't win. This game is over after the first quarter, and it's not close. It's going to be a blowout. Ohio State in a walk. And next, Ole Miss at Auburn. Top 25 matchup I picked up and looked at. Ole Miss, ton of offense. Auburn, decent defense. I'm taking Ole Miss. Ole Miss has been flirting with trouble the last few weeks, but I believe that they figure it out this week. And the surprising thing is Ole Miss's defense this year has been fairly good. Outside the Alabama game, their defense has been pretty good. I think they put together another good effort this week, and I think they shut down. I shouldn't say shut down, but they stop Auburn enough, and they outscore them on the road. Big road win for Ole Miss. Now, to my two diehards, TCU at K-State. Look, TCU, they're talking about firing Gary Patterson. That would be an awful mistake if they did. Gary Patterson has basically been TCU for the last decade or so. If they get rid of him, I don't know, but that's the talk. You've got talk of transfers. TCU can move the football. Their defense is what's been horrible, which usually isn't the case with TCU. And that's why I think K-State wins this. I don't think K-State, and I said it on a podcast, the pregame podcast with Fitzgerald, I believe that this is a blowout. I believe it's close for the first 2.5 quarters, and then K-State just puts their foot on the pedal and just ends up blowing them out at 17 points or more. I think they win in a walk. I think TCU's on the verge of quitting, although that's difficult to say. You never really say that about a TCU team. You can say that about this one. I think K-State, like I said, about the 7-minute mark of the third quarter, they put their foot down, and this one's over. It's over. Last but not least, I always have that upset special, and I know I'm a diehard Louisville fan, and Louisville's going to end up going to NC State and winning this football game, man. I think that they have found something on the defensive side of the ball that's going to keep them in the football game. NC State doesn't have great offense. They run a little, they throw it a little. You know Louisville's going to bring the offense as long as the play calling is okay. My goodness. But as long as we can figure that out, I think that we've got something here. So the NC State defense is really, really good. It's really good. But Louisville's offense, when the play calling is right, is better than their defense. I think Louisville upset special, goes on the road, wins by 4, 38-34 on the road. Again, I appreciate all you guys tuning in. This is Big B's picks for the week. Remember, go to YouTube, hit that like and subscribe button. Hit the little bell for the notifications as well. You can also come check me out on my website, which is www.Kool-Aid, that's Kool-Aid with the C, Coolaid sports.com. Check us out on YouTube at Kool-Aid Sports as well. This has been another Big B's Picks. I appreciate you guys. Thank you.